What if I told you that Stevie J Bambi and a certain explosive rapper named Lil Scrappy were just waiting to blow up the internet after a night full of secrets, lies, and scandal? It sounds like a setup for the next reality TV drama, doesn't it? But this isn't some staged moment, and believe me, it's messier than anything you've ever seen on screen. Now, hold on. Let's be clear. You thought you knew the drama between these three, correct? Stevie J has been a walking scandal machine for years, and Bambi isn't Lil Scrappy is a stranger to conflict, and he's been the quiet storm that is about to blow up. But what happened in the dead of night behind closed doors is going to change everything. Have you ever wondered how far celebrities will go to conceal the truth? What if I told you that the truth about that secret night wasn't just a hookup or an affair? Oh no, it's much worse, because when Lil Scrappy found out, he lost it. And not in a cute reality TV kind of way. There was a breakdown and meltdown. That got people talking. But the real question is, what will happen next? Stay tuned, because this isn't just gossip. This is the kind of expose that will leave you speechless. Up until now, everyone has been talking about this night in whispers, but no one has had the courage to discuss it. Stevie J, Bambi, and Lil Scrappy have always been known for their drama, whether it's behind the scenes or on screen. It was supposed to be a quiet evening, nothing special, just a simple night. But if you know anything about Stevie J, you know that nothing ever stays simple. Whether it's his dubious past, his dubious choices, or his penchant for the dramatic, he's the type of person who can't help but drag everyone else down into his storm. And guess what he did on this night that has the entire world reeling? Dragged Bambi right along with him. Now, let's take a moment to talk about Bambi. Because of her feud-filled past and her relationship with Scrappy, who has never been the most level-headed of people, she has been at the center of everything for years. However, Bambi is not an innocent bystander in this mess. Oh no, she is the one holding the cards, the one keeping the secrets, and the one who knows exactly what happened that night. Did she tell anyone? Of course not, because why would she? Is good at keeping secrets. But that night was different, and that night was when everything changed. And then there's Lil Scrappy. Oh, where do I even start? Who has always been on the verge of losing it, with a level of rage that only someone who feels completely betrayed can experience in the real world. He's kept everything under wraps, up until now, but you'd think a guy who's experienced his fair share of drama would be a little more composed. But no, he lost his mind over something so intense and explosive that it will leave you wondering how anyone can recover from that kind of emotional damage. Now let's take a closer look at why this is important and why we are even discussing it, because, whether you like it or not, Stevie J and Bambi's late-night rendezvous is about more than just two people hooking up. There is more to this scandal, much more. When I say more, I mean this. Picture of leaked messages, late-night phone calls, and the first piece of the puzzle must be this. Lil Scrappy didn't just learn about this. No, it wasn't a quiet realization. Hey, I heard something. Oh, full-blown chaos. A moment where the storm didn't just pass, it broke everything in its path. And the rage wasn't just anger, it was raw emotion. There will be a series of unexpected turns that will make you question everything you thought you knew about these people. Trust me, what you're about to hear is nothing short of jaw-dropping. Let's take a moment to reflect on the infamous moment when Scrappy went on social media and attacked Stevie J Bambi and anyone who had betrayed him. This wasn't just a random outburst. It was the culmination of everything he knew. There was more to the story, and that night, he finally discovered what was truly happening. It wasn't just about an affair. It was about loyalty, betrayal, and trust being destroyed in the worst way possible. Now let's talk about the specifics of that night. According to anonymous sources, Stevie J had been organizing something behind the scenes for months. Nobody knows exactly what it was, but the rumors began when Bambi began acting aloof, mysterious, and a little too secretive. The worst part is that nobody was ready for what happened next. You see, Bambi isn't just a passive participant in this story. She knew what she was doing and that this secret would have a huge impact, but she continued with the plan, letting things happen in ways that no one could have predicted. To be honest, she may have believed she could get away with it, or that no one would ever find out. But if Stevie J loves anything more than himself, it's making sure that everyone knows exactly what he's up to. So, Instead, Hugh went straight to his connections and enlisted the help of those who could keep his secrets secret. Of course, Bambi was on board, but where does that go? As Stevie J and Bambi's plan unfolded in full force, you have to wonder how far Bambi was willing to go, how much she was hiding, and how much Stevie J knew but never bothered to tell anyone. Then came the revelation, the bombshell, the truth that rocked everything to its foundation. Lil Scrappy, picture this, has been in the dark about this entire scheme, letting his anger simmer and allowing the betrayal to take root. Happening by accident? No, a planned, intentional breakdown of everything. He believed he knew everything, that he could trust, and that he discovered the late-night meetings, the secret messages, and the money trail that led directly to betrayal. He lost it, and it wasn't just about the affair or the money. Oh no, it was about loyalty, about family, and this was not just a social media tirade. It was the beginning of the fallout that would send shockwaves through the entire entertainment industry. Believe me, the next part is even more explosive than the first. Mess with family, mess with everything. But here's the thing. Scrappy's response wasn't just outrage. It was a wake-up call to everyone involved. He wasn't the quiet, passive player anymore. Imagine the world watching as the pieces began to come together, and believe me, it wasn't pretty. The streets were humming, social media was on fire, and you could almost hear everyone's gasps as they processed the truth about Stevie J and Bambi's secret night. The night that, if we're being honest, marked the beginning of the end for everyone involved. Let's take a closer look at the chaos that ensued after the bombshell was dropped. Let's start with Stevie J. The man has experienced all the highs and lows, betrayals, backstabbing, and twists that could rival any soap opera. But this was his moment when he pulled back the curtain and revealed what was really happening behind closed doors. Leaking anonymous sources who, mind you, know too much came forward with the kind of juicy details that sent shockwaves through the industry. You thought the drama was bad before, but oh, it was about to get a lot worse. When it came to safeguarding his interests, you can be sure he didn't hold back. We're talking about extravagant spending, secret accounts, and transactions that made no sense at all unless you knew exactly who was involved. Stevie J didn't get to where he is by following the rules. Instead, he took shortcuts and played the game at a level that most people could never even understand. But was this all about money power? Or was there something more sinister going on, according to the insiders, and the night in question wasn't just about a little fun behind closed doors? Oh no, it was part of a much larger operation that involved Bambi, her connections, and some seriously dubious behavior. By insiders, I mean those courageous enough to leak details from the inside. It wasn't just a romantic rendezvous, it was a calculated step in a larger game. But what kind of game were they playing? And more importantly, why was Lil Scrappy completely unaware of the fact that it wasn't just an affair? It was betrayal at the highest level. To make matters worse, Scrappy's reaction was more than just anger. It was shock and devastation because, in reality, he had trusted Bambi and had been with her through thick and thin. So seeing her involved in something so shady and dishonest was more than he could handle. Bambi and Stevie J had been working, together covertly without Scrappy's knowledge, sending fans and industry insiders into a frenzy. A situation far more explosive than anyone could have imagined was depicted by the details that have since been leaked by anonymous sources who claimed to have been present in the room during important meetings. We're talking about late-night meetings where a significant amount of money was exchanged, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. One source who spoke to us under the condition of anonymity stated that the night in question involved high stakes, deals, and a startling amount of money being funneled into a secret account, with Bambi playing a major role in the financial transactions. And if that wasn't enough, the same source hinted at even more sinister corruption. Yes, corruption in the entertainment industry is as perverse as it sounds, with deals made behind closed doors, promises broken, and some major players profiting from everything while everyone else is left in the dark. However, who is behind the scenes and ensuring that this continues? Going, and why Scrappy didn't know? That's where it gets even murkier. But what about Bambi? You might think she's just a pawn in this whole mess, but according to one insider, she was involved at every turn, keeping things quiet for a while. She worked closely with Stevie J to keep everything under wraps because if she betrayed Scrappy, it wouldn't only affect her marriage, but also her career, her reputation, And what that means for Lil Scrappy is that he's been living in the dark. And everything he thought he knew about his relationship has been turned upside down. The person he trusted with his life and heart had been keeping things from him. And it wasn't just a small secret. Rather, it was a complex plan that could destroy everything Scrappy had worked for. Most importantly, her pockets and Bambi isn't the type of person who lets her pockets be compromised without a fight. However, there were also rumors of a cover-up as a means of preventing the scandal from blowing up into something bigger than anyone could have predicted. According to sources close to Scrappy, he had been working for months to piece together the truth. But each time he thought he was getting close to the real story, someone or something would step in and ensure the truth remained hidden. Now, however, the truth was out, and no amount of spin could put this back. Social media exploded with reactions ranging from disbelief to outright outrage. The public's reaction was unavoidable at this point. Some fans, friends, and even so-called industry experts had something to say. They couldn't believe that Stevie J, of all people, was behind this massive scheme. What about Bambi? The audience was divided. Some couldn't believe that she'd betray Scrappy in this way, while others suggested that perhaps she was just attempting to secure her future in a cutthroat industry. Either way, she wasn't going to emerge from this looking good, but naturally, the biggest reaction came from Lil Scrappy himself. After months of rumors, he finally broke his silence and took to social media, as only Scrappy can, to vent on everyone involved. His response was unedited, heartbreaking, and devastating due to the fact that he had been deceived for so long. He called out Stevie J, Bambi, and anyone else who had contributed to the anticipated. Things began to spiral out of control, with deceit demanding answers and, more importantly, accountability. Legal threats started to fly, public figures started to distance themselves from the whole situation, and Scrappy's outbursts were being replayed on every social media platform and gossip site. Fans who were already engrossed in this crazy drama couldn't get enough of it. They were devouring it, and it was spreading faster than wildfire. No one could stop talking about it, and the drama only got worse, so what will happen next? Who will lose it, and who will look foolish? Well, it's not over yet. We're about to dive into the fallout that could destroy everything. The consequences of these actions are going to hit like a freight train, and Lil Scrappy might not be the only one affected. By now, the truth has been revealed, the bombshell has dropped, and everyone is going to feel the heat. Everyone involved in this complicated mess is beginning to face the consequences. Stevie J, Bambi, and Lil Scrappy are at the center of a scandal, and nobody can avoid the fallout. Not even those who believed they could control the story. But here's the twist. It's only the beginning. What happens next could potentially change the entire game, and believe me, things are going to get much messier. The heat is rising, and the consequences of this scandal aren't just personal, legal, and public. Let's start with Stevie J, who, let's face it, has been living on borrowed time for years. If you know anything about his past, you know that Stevie has faced controversy before, but now he's facing a reckoning like never before. The truth about his covert activities, including his manipulation of Scrappy and Bambi, has come to light, and the fallout has been absolutely explosive. Being a dramatizing reality TV star is one thing, but when those actions start to have real-world repercussions, it's a completely different story. Stevie J's financial empire, which was once based on charm and charisma, is now on the verge of collapsing. The public's confidence in him has been severely damaged, and people close to him say that he is already preparing for possible lawsuits. We're talking about the possibility of financial ruin, legal battles over breach of trust, and even fraud charges. You can imagine the drama. Sources close to Bambi have stated that she is also feeling the heat, and the pressure is mounting. Even though she may have thought she could hide in plain sight now with the music industry and reality TV world rife with rumors about potential criminal investigations into his financial dealings. Love and hip-hop was intense. Just wait until Stevie J is in court trying to explain his actions to a judge. It won't be pretty. In fact, it could get downright ugly. With a public scandal erupting, she's frantically trying to protect herself. Scrappy was left in the dark once more, and now she has to answer to him and the public. Knowing that she was involved in something this significant and shady could potentially end her career if the media and fans turn against her, and we all know how unforgiving the internet can be. Bambi's strategy has been to remain silent thus far, but sources close to her claim The truth is that she may have already crossed a line from which she cannot return, and legal experts are speculating that she may face a lawsuit from Scrappy, claiming emotional distress, and perhaps even more given how deeply this betrayal runs, that she is actively looking for ways to get ahead of the situation, considering damage control in the form of public apologies and possible career moves. But will that be enough to save her reputation? Now, let's talk about Lil Scrappy. The poor guy has had his heart torn out, but believe me when I say that he's not going down without a fight. Scrappy's reaction toll of this. Has this been anything short of explosive? And I'm not just talking about his outbursts on social media. His personal and professional life is now in a state of chaos, and friends and fans are rallying around him. She knows that her silence could backfire, demonstrating solidarity and support for the man who has been harmed in one of the most well-publicized betrayals in the reality TV industry. Scrappy's loyalty to Bambi was never in doubt, but now that it has been shattered, everyone is watching to see how he will respond, and you can bet that they are expecting a backlash. What's next for Scrappy? Well, we're talking about more than just public humiliation. There's a financial war brewing, and he won't allow this betrayal to go unpunished. He's going to make sure Stevie J and Bambi know that there are legal options available to them, and that Scrappy's legal team is reportedly already investigating potential lawsuits for emotional distress, breach of contract, defamation, and, most importantly, emotional distress. Scrappy's supporters are behind him, and he has a platform, so he could very well take this fight to court. And trust me, when I say that the drama in the courtroom could be even more explosive than what we're witnessing on social media, what about the public backlash? Scrappy's fans have been outspoken and furious, but what about the fans of Stevie J and Bambi? Well, let me tell you, they're not. They've begun taking sides, and the verbal battle is getting more intense on social media, which has turned into a battlefield where accusations, memes, and statements are being made every minute. People are picking who they believe, and believe me, there are some strong opinions out there. Scrappy's fans are demanding justice, and they want answers. The bottom line is that this scandal isn't just a passing drama, it's a ticking time bomb. The entertainment industry is on edge. The pressure is mounting on all parties involved, and legal actions are becoming more and more likely. The fallout from these actions will have a ripple effect throughout the entertainment industry. Stevie J may face a public scandal like he has never experienced before, and Bambi may permanently leave the reality TV scene. He has a chance to start over, but the wounds from this betrayal will follow him for a long time. But wait, there's more. The entire industry may be affected by this scandal. A federal investigation may be imminent, and since everyone involved is attempting to hide their identities, there may be a chain reaction that results in even more shocking disclosures. Who else is involved? Are there any other sinister secrets hiding in the shadows of reality TV? The public is waiting for more leaks to surface, and in the end, Stevie J, Bambi, and Lil Scrappy will be judged by both the public and the legal system. The future of their careers, reputations, and personal lives could be decided in the coming months. So the big question is still, who will win in this complex mess? Who will emerge victorious? And more importantly, will anyone receive justice? The world is watching them, and they deserve it. Will Scrappy finally get his retribution? Will Stevie J be held accountable for his actions? Will Bambi ever be able to turn her life around? Only time will tell. Wow, what a crazy ride, but don't worry, the drama is only beginning. We're not done revealing the truth yet. What do you think about this whole mess? Do you support Lil Scrappy, or do you think Stevie? The more likes we receive, the more we delve into these hidden secrets and reveal things that others won't. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next scandalous story we bring you. Jay and Bambi still have some explaining to do, so let's discuss it in the comments section below. We want to hear your opinions, theories, and predictions about what's coming next. Because, let's face it, the drama never ends. Click that bell icon to be the first to know when we reveal the next shocking revelation. Trust me, things are going to get even crazier than they were before. So until the next time, keep your ears and eyes open because the truth is always out there, and we're here to make sure it is visible.